Alright gang, welcome back to our Triple Threat Challenge here in Hutan Pantai. It is November now. I've got the worker already beginning on harvesting our big, massive field. So that'll help us out a little bit while we go sell the canola. The canola is actually best to sell today, so we are going to start selling it now. We're going to go and sell it at the train, I think. It's a decent price, and I believe I can go up here to the grain elevator and unload it there and then have the train go to that, I believe. To be fair, I have yet to utilize the train on this map, so this is a new one for me, but I'm pretty sure this is going to work. If it doesn't, we should still be able to get it out of here, more than likely, right? So, shouldn't be a big deal if for whatever reason this is not going to work, but where we're going is pretty much straight ahead, and you can see the pipe out there, so it should work. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully you're all doing well. Now today, we've got a busy day today. So we're going to harvest that big, massive field. Obviously, we're going to utilize some workers here and there. We don't have a whole lot of money in our name right now, right? So any money we can get is going to be good for us today. This canola is going to bring in a pretty penny, so that's going to be nice. Now, as far as where I lease the train at, where do I go lease the train at? Here? I'm assuming it's here. Rent train, yeah. Let's see how far away it is. Not far at all, actually. That's surprising. Okay, everything's in there, so we just kind of have to wait on the train here. So the worker is starting the, obviously, the harvest here. We are dropping straw. Now, I'm thinking about making a bit of a change to the way that we've been doing our grass work and really our straw work, I guess, now at this point as well. I'm considering doing a switch from bales to loading wagon, forage wagon, whatever. You know, I always call it the wrong name. I'm considering doing a switch to that. There is a mod that recently came out that is a silage mod. It's basically you put, you know, your grass into a silo and it turns it into silage for you. I think I want to go with that approach. Just to help assist us a little bit with time management more than anything. Now that we're getting, you know, a little bit heavier on the amount of stuff we have to accomplish every episode, I think it's probably a smart investment for us to do that. We will see. The train is evidently still not here. There it is. Finally. So I think we might do that. You rent the train here and it goes all the way down there? Holy smokes. Okay, well, we'll sprint down there, I guess. Oh, now he's backing up. What the world? He's going as fast as he is now than he was then. Where are you going? Can I have control of the train yet, please? Please. Thank you. Holy moly. Anyway, before that was an issue, anyway, so we're going to work on potentially incorporating that. Now, if we decide to do that, we've got to figure out where we're going to put that silo, right? I haven't fully decided that yet. I don't know where I want to put it at. Kind of cool to be up here, though. We really haven't been up here on the bridge yet at all. Oh my goodness, this thing does not brake at all. I hit the brakes a long time ago. A long time ago. It gets up to speed really quick, but the brakes are atrocious. Now, it probably doesn't really matter which one I put it in. I'm just going to put it in the yellow one here, the one closest to us, because why not? Look at this. Okay, we'll creep it. Alright, there we go. Now, you know what? One thing we should do. I looked at the canola because I thought the canola was best in this November month because I know they changed a few of them around a little bit. Canola used to be kind of the same as everything else. Sorghum is not bad. 2162. It is going up, though. What about our wheat? 1707, and it's dropping. I tell you what, I think we're going to put the wheat in here too. I mean, there's just no reason not to. I mean, if it's dropping, and the average best is only $90 more, I feel like we would be stupid to not put it in here, right? Having said that, we should also look at the oat while we're here, right? Because that's what we're harvesting right now. No, it's better elsewhere. The grain mill is 2726. And it's going down, so we probably can just sell the oat outright, which is actually good. So, although that tornado in the last episode really caused us some mayhem, it actually, I think, benefited us, as we were not able to harvest in the last episode, so we had to wait till today, right? So I think it actually benefited us a little bit, because we're going to get a little bit more money out of it that way. Oh, on the wrong side of the road. See? I've been doing the investment challenge videos. Been cranking those out a little bit, kind of back-to-back videos as I normally do. I've mentioned that many times to all of you that normally when I do a video, I normally do 2 of them. I do one and then I'll do another one. I just do them back-to-back. That way I've got, you know, stuff fresh in my mind of what I want to do, and then if we don't accomplish it all, we can jump right into it in the next episode and continue on, right? So, it's just what works for me in my schedule. Looks like the worker is getting ready to start on the second headland pass there. Probably gonna have to kind of keep an eye on the worker there. They're going to need us to unload that harvester probably pretty soon, I would imagine. This is going to be a couple of trips here, taking the wheat back and forth to the train here. We've got some pallets over there of cabbage as well, which is good. We can obviously harvest this grass field too at any point, but we don't really need to harvest the grass. You know, the harvesting of the grass is going to be whenever we don't have something else to do. Today we've got too much to do. We've got to harvest this field, pick up the straw. We also need to re-drill, or well, yeah, I guess it is a re-drill, but it's the first time drilling for us. We need to drill the new field, right? We cultivated all that up and everything. We just need to drill it now. And kind of decide what we want to put in there. I think we kind of had some ideas in the last episode of what we wanted to put in there, but who's to say that that's still going to be what we decide to put in there in this episode. So I think we got this trip and then one other trip. Yeah, one other trip for the wheat here. I think I'm going to hold on to the sorghum just because it is about $200-ish less than what the average best is, and they're still going up. So I think I'll hold on to that, even though I've already, you know, rented the train. In the next episode, we can certainly find somewhere else to sell them. We don't have to sell them necessarily at the train, because it does cost us money to lease the train, right? So. All right, we get the final trailer load here, heading back up to here. Now the worker is nearly full, so we are going to have to unload the worker here pretty quickly. I think what we'll do is we'll dump this into the train. We'll get the train going quickly. As soon as we're done there, we'll head over there. We might lose a couple of dollars by having the worker sitting there waiting on us to unload the harvester for him to continue on. But that's okay. Once we're done with that, the next goal for us is to head over to the newest field and figure out what we're going to put in there. Now, I don't know if we're going to drill that field or harvest the field that's currently being harvested by the worker. Haven't fully decided which one we're going to do. One of them has to be a worker doing it, because we want to try to get both things accomplished today if at all possible. So, okay, let's get into the train. We can unload all the wheat in here. This should be a pretty payday here, gang. That's a lot of liters of crop here. 45-ish thousand liters of crop is a lot of crop. Haven't really been in the first-person view yet of the train, I don't think, in FS25, so take a look and see how it looks, if anything's major's changed. I mean, this is obviously, you know, a train that's in the Asian market versus the American market, so I really can't even tell you if this has changed or not. But it's nice, man. I like trains in general, in real life. It's not like I'm a train collector or anything. I don't do any of that. But when I was growing up and I was younger, I liked trains. So I have no reason not to like them today either. Bit of some glitching happening. You guys can clearly see that. See how it's like jumping as it's moving along? Huh. Yeah, this game, it's still got, with all the updates they've made for it and with all the improvements they've done, it still has got some major issues, man. Still has some major issues that need to be worked out. Alright, we're nearly here. Well, we're nearly to the point where it's going to throw us out of the train, I mean, to take it elsewhere. Sure. $95,516. That is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. That is such a good payday and very much needed. Very much needed. We were a little low on funds there. Okay, so let's head back here. Let's get the worker unloaded, and then, as I mentioned, we will hook up to the drill. We'll head over to our newest field. I'll figure out on the way there what I'm going to put in there. And yeah, we'll see you over there. Before we do that, though, because I will forget, let's flood these fields. I normally start off with flooding the fields, and we didn't do that today, so I could just see myself kind of forgetting to do this. So let's make sure I do that real quick. All right, that guy's getting flooded, and then we got well, maybe this one doesn't need flooded anymore. It's got up pretty high here now. I don't know if it's going to need flooded. Normally, when it's this high, you don't need to flood it anymore. It's just on its last growing stages, so it'll be ready to harvest probably in December, if not December, January. Yeah, it doesn't need to be flooded. Okay. All right, well, let me get this out of the way. I now have at least some room to put this into the silo. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to put all of it in the silo or not. Hopefully we can. Since we got rid of 2 crops in there, we got rid of 45,000 liters. Hopefully that should be enough for this whole field. I don't see how it couldn't. But for whatever reason, if it's not, we'll have to figure something else out, I guess, for the rest of the oats. Perhaps we just keep them in the trailer and we put the trailer underneath some cover, right? The bales will also be ready later on in the episode. They're not going to be ready yet, but later on in the episode, the bales should be good to go. I need to turn off that marker there. Let me do that really quick. And then I will see you at the other farm. At the other farm. See you at the other farm. I meant the other field. You knew what I meant. Well, actually, I think they're ready right now. I was actually very surprised. I did not think they were going to be ready. It looks like they are ready. Okay, well. Anyway, I'm going to unhook this. I'm going to grab the drill. I'll be over there. Alright, we are underway here, gang. We're going to start doing the drilling here, and then eventually this is going to be flipped over to a worker. But we're at least going to begin it. So we're going to put canola in here. I think canola is a good crop for this field. Excuse me, gang. I think canola is a good crop for this field. It a little bit further away from our main yard, right? So put something in here that's going to take a while to grow, and then when we harvest it, it'll be in a decent spot for us to be able to hopefully put into the silo at that point. Now, speaking of silos, we had a buying silo on the farm for a while. I think it actually was even there until just a few minutes recently. And by I think, I mean I know for a fact it was there just till a few minutes recently. I had somebody come in and they took care of it. They got rid of that silo for me and put in a new silo. A new buying silo, specifically more one that is aligned with the prices within the shop versus the prices in the sell points. So, should be a little bit better for us, should help us out tremendously, especially when we have that big, massive fertilizer spreader. Basically, we took all of our money up multiple times because it took our money because it was such a fast process of being able to unload whatever it is you're buying into the piece of equipment, right? So it was really hard to stop it from taking all of your money when you didn't want it to. So this one should hopefully help out a little bit better. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, because if we still fill up that fertilizer spreader to the max, it's still going to cost a lot of money. but it's not going to be as extreme as it was before, where it was going off of the prices within the actual selling shops versus the actual prices at the store itself, where you'd buy a box or a pallet, you know, a bag or whatever you're buying of that specific item, right? So should be a lot better for us. This field's super awkward. The way that it's set up, the lines and everything, it's very, very awkward. I'm utilizing some steering assist, and then some of it I'm not utilizing steering assist. I'm just kind of playing it by ear here a little bit as we go around. Now, another thing today that we should attempt to try to do is start kind of working on getting some of those trees down, right? So we've got a little bit of money here. It'll probably be beneficial for us to buy a winch. I mean, I guess I could utilize the John Deere with the front loader and the forks there, but some of those trees up there are very large. I'm not sure that the John Deere is actually going to be able to pick it up. And by pick it up, I mean pick up the actual tree itself. I have a feeling that it's going to be way too heavy. Even if we had a weight on the back, I don't think it could do it. I don't think it has enough power to do it. So winch is probably the best bet. Now, winches are not really cheap. There hasn't been from what I could see, at least on ModHub, there has not been a cheaper winch that has come out yet that makes sense for us. So it's a thought, right? We obviously can resell it back. So, I mean, obviously we'll take a little bit of a hit on the money, but we could make some of that money back. And that's, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, obviously we have the grass field that we talked about already. We could, you know, mow that and work on that, but I think we're going to save that for another episode when we don't have anything going on. More specifically, we don't have anything harvest to do, any fertilizer spreading to do. A little less of the contracts as we move forward here, because now we're getting a good, you know, solid foothold. I mean, we're 20-something episodes in. It's taking us a while, but we're getting a solid foothold here on the map where we've got enough, you know, going on that we shouldn't have to do too many more contracts moving forward. And we can get started on the temple, right? We can work on getting the temple going. If it's not, I was going to say if it's not today, it'll be the next episode, but I'm a little skeptical to say that because there's a chance maybe it's not the next episode either, because I think the next episode, our long grain rice field will be ready to harvest. So right now we're kind of in the harvesting and the drilling season, if you will. But I would say there's a pretty strong chance that in the next episode we will be starting the temple. If we don't even, we might even start it today. Hell, we might go buy some today and start it today. The way that all of you have been talking, the sooner I start it, the better probably. But, you know, you got to factor in the fact that we've got a lot of other things going on right now, right? We've got a lot of other things still to accomplish on this series. Most specifically, we don't have the final remaining field we have to purchase. We don't have any way whatsoever to harvest any green beans, because that's our goal, right? We've got to put green beans in this field along with the other field we have still yet to buy. We've got a loan still to pay off. The only thing really that we have fully accomplished is the goats on the farm. We've got those. They're doing well. We probably should check on the goats today as well and make sure they have enough water and everything else. I did look from a distance. I did see that they seem to have enough food. They still had a bale out there. And then obviously they have meadow grass too that they can chomp on. So shouldn't be too terrible there for them. And as I've mentioned before, the temple is just a bonus objective. It's not like it's actually has to be accomplished to complete this series. We're just going to accomplish it by any means necessary as we get later on in the series. Does mean the series is probably going to go on for quite a while. A lot of new maps have come out recently on ModHub. right now we've got a lot of series that are currently running, so we're not going to be probably doing any of those maps, at least not for the foreseeable future here. We've got the investment challenge in Riverview that we literally just started. We're only on episode, I think at the point of this recording, I think I've got 6 episodes done, possibly 7. It's 6 or 7, I can't remember. So that's a relatively fresh and new series. We've got this series, right, going on, and this is going to be going on for a while. We've got the Survival Challenge series, which I think we're 20-something episodes in on that one as well. We are starting to make a lot of money in that series. A lot of money. I'm starting to feel really good about it. Honestly, we could, if we wanted to, we're not going to. If we wanted to, we could quit now and say, hey, we've completed the Survival Challenge. We're making plenty of money, and it's mostly because of the sawmills like that. We've got 4 sawmills, like, at the time of this recording at least, we have 4 sawmills on the farm, which is insane to me. But we just have that many trees that we really have to get those sawmills down and going, because that's the only way really we can expand our fields, our crop fields, right? Can't expand them if we've got all these trees in the way. Unless we decide to purchase more land. But really, we want to utilize some of the land we already own, because a lot of it's not being utilized due to the massive amount of trees that are currently in it. And then we've got the Survive 25 series, which we actually just the other day started Farm 2. For the longest time, we were running on Farm 1. Very repetitive, given the fact that it is Farming Simulator, and Farming Simulator is repetitive anyway, but we were just put a greenhouse down, harvest field, do a contract, put a greenhouse down, harvest field, do the contract, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. The exact same stuff, with the exception of the contracts. There was no, freshness or newness to it. So it was decided, and time to move on to Farm 2. We're still gonna have Farm 1. Farm 1's not done yet, but just gonna focus a little bit more on Farm 2 for a while. So we got that going on. And that kind of rejuvenized my feelings toward it, Survive 25 series. Not that I wasn't having any fun. I mean, it's Farming Simulator. I'm having fun no matter what I'm doing. But I felt like it rejuvenized a little bit of the series for everyone else, for all of my subscribers, all of you that are watching. I feel like that, gave it a little bit of a fresh start's really not the right word to say there, because it's not, you're not starting over, but kind of feels like a fresh start, if it will, right? Now, that series, it's been told to me that there's no rules or restrictions on being able to utilize equipment across the board of all farms. We're not doing that. We're making it a little bit difficult on ourselves. We are restricting the equipment only to whatever farm you purchased it for. You cannot move it back and forth between farms. Which, if you watch it, it will make a lot of sense. Another reason why, even if we wanted to, we would never do it. And when you watch it, that will make sense. Because the one farm is on one portion of the map, the other farm is on the complete opposite portion of the map. So, it would be kind of pointless to drive, It would be kind of pointless to drive from the one end of the spectrum all the way to the other end of the spectrum just to share the equipment. You would put a lot of wear and tear and a lot of gas and everything else. Speaking of wear and tear, our equipment here, specifically this tractor and the drill, they need some service. It's going to cost us some money, so we probably should go do that here. As soon as we're done with this, it's going to be a pretty expensive service, I think, for this tractor, unfortunately. Maybe we get lucky and maybe there's something on the used market. Nope, we never get that lucky. We never get that lucky. There's a nice cultivator out there. Matter of fact, what's the difference between that one and ours? 4 meters. It's 1 meter more. It wouldn't cost that much to upgrade to that. There's a potential. It is used, though, so it means we'd have to service it a lot. It would cost a lot of extra money doing that. So I don't know. We'll think about it. Matter of fact, you know what we're going to do here? We're going to take a bit of a change of plans here real quick. We're going to head down to the shop and service this real quick. The longer we wait, the more expensive this is going to be. I'm already afraid this is going to cost us like 40 grand. I hope not, but I'm very much afraid that that's what it's going to cost. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. I thought it was going to be outrageous. It's only 2,000 to repair the tractor. That's not bad. Let's do that. 1,000 for that, and 1,000 for that. That's not that bad. That is not that bad. I'm okay with losing 4 grand to make sure that these are up to snuff, because I don't see any reason that we're any time soon, I should say, that we're going to be upgrading these. So let's get back to the field here. We're going to get the rest of this canola put in. Then we're going to need to fertilize it and all that good stuff. So let's get to it. All right, well, we are pretty much done here with this field. We got one more pass here, and we're going to be done. And then we got to go get the fertilizer spreader and spread some fertilizer down here. I also think the worker is full, so we need to go get him unloaded. Wherever he's at, there he is, of course. Not facing the right way. Why would he be? Looks like we desperately need some gas for this tractor as well, so we're going to make a little bit of a gas run, I think, to take care of both of these guys. Worker almost has this field actually completely harvested, so we're not going to have to do a whole lot, more than likely. If any. We will have to deal with the straw, though, like we mentioned, right? So, while we're unloading that, let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. It is... I think it's under production, I think? Or factories, rather. I saw it earlier. Is this it? Fermenting silo. 30 grand. So it will accept straw in it as well, right? So this is kind of why I'm leaning towards putting this in. I think it would be extremely helpful. Now, where are we going to put it at? That's a great question. We really don't have a ton of room. I mean, we have some room, I should say, but we're going to have to take up some of the grass here, the grass field here, which I'm fine with. I don't really care that much if we get rid of some of the grass field. We've got plenty, I think, in there. We just need to make sure that wherever we put it, you know, there's sufficient room for us to turn around. There's still sufficient room for us to get out of these sheds here, right? Because even though we're going to probably sell some of that stuff off, like the baler and obviously the wrapper, since we're going to have this now, yeah, you want to make sure you are going to be able to still have enough room to back stuff in and turn around. And I'm afraid putting it here, I'm not going to have a whole lot of room to back things in there. And putting it here would be a little, I don't know, weird, I think. Perhaps not. Maybe this is where we go. But anyway, we'll think about that as we carry on here. Does not have to be decided right here and now. We've got some other things to accomplish first before we even begin to get to that point. So, namely, having the worker finish harvesting this field and have us finish with this field over here. I'm gonna drill that sign. City's gonna be yelling at me about that one. The T-junction sign, that's fine. Not that big of a deal. Alright, so I figured on the way back here I might as well just go ahead and stop and get gas here. There's no reason not to. $303, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. There is a mod that came out recently on ModHub that I saw. It says more realistic gas prices, which what I would think that means is that the gas is more expensive. So that would be interesting for a certain series, right? If you're doing a series that was extremely 100% realistic, you would have to put that on, right? It would actually put and make gas be a factor, right? Because it costs so much money, it would be a factor in play with how much money and funds you have. You got to be careful of that. Alright, so let's grab the fertilizer spreader here. It should have a little bit left in there. 1,511. That's probably enough. Here's the silo I had them come in and put down. As you can see, it's not too big of a change from what we had before. I think the other one looked a little bit better overall, but otherwise, it's fine. I think I'm going to play it by ear here, and, well, I say play it by ear. I think I'm going to take a chance here and thinking that this is going to be enough fertilizer for that field up there. I think it will be. I think whatever we fertilize next will require a little bit more than what's going to be remaining in here when we're done. But I do think this is going to be sufficient for that, so I'm not going to buy any more. Now, a couple notes. The bale wrapper. We have some wrap sitting at the shop that I kind of forgot about. So if we get rid of the bale wrapper now, we're basically wasting that money on that wrapping. So what we might end up doing today is we sell the baler, all right? But we keep the wrapper and hope that a wrapping contract comes out. If a wrapping contract comes out and we can utilize most of the wrap for that contract, then that way we don't waste it. Does that make sense? I don't know. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Having said that, I know earlier I talked about, well, we probably don't have to do that many contracts anymore, but I mean, that's something we can at least look for, and if there's something out there for wrapping, we can utilize it that way. That way we can get the most for our money. As a matter of fact, we can go ahead and look right now. There is a bale wrapping contract out there right now, actually. Might be worth it. That might be worth doing. So So we might do that. I know the episode's getting long already, but sometimes there's just a lot of things to accomplish, and it's just better to have a long episode. And there's no saying that I won't, in the edit, get rid of a lot of this. Who knows? Who knows what I'll do in the edit. Sometimes I leave it in because I feel like it's useful information and stuff that I feel like you want to hear. And then other times I remove it. I'd thought about doing some kind of, I don't know if I'll ever get to it or not, but I thought about doing some kind of a no-edit series. I don't even know if that makes sense or if anybody would even want to see that. It probably wouldn't, actually, now that I think about it. But I had considered, you know, doing some kind of a series where you see everything. Raw footage of everything. When there's quiet parts or whatever, when I'm not talking to you, I'm not rambling about something, where we're not actually in a time lapse or whatever. I don't know. I got to think about it a little bit more, and I think the odds are that we won't do that. I don't see any reason why. Actually, now that I'm doing this, I don't think I even need to do this. I think I'm just wasting fertilizer here. Because it was grass before, wasn't it? Shit. Well, I just wasted, Yeah, I didn't need to do it. Well, shit. Oh well, we wasted a little bit of fertilizer there. Mistake on my part. Mistakes happen, man. I'm not perfect at this game. I never try to act like I am. So anyway, back to the baling, right? So, we really want to get that straw up today, right? And that straw is going to take a long time to get up. Now, as far as loading wagons go, that's the thing we need to look at, really, more than anything right now. We need to see how much this is going to cost us, because I don't think they're cheap. Forage wagons, that's what they're called. And they're not. They're not cheap at all. Those are very, very expensive. And you saw how much it's going to cost us to put down this silo that will turn grass and everything else into silage, right? We do have the bales to go sell. We are going to go sell those today, so that should make us a pretty penny. But is it going to be enough to be able to buy a decent-sized forage wagon? Because we certainly don't want... What we don't want is we don't want this one. It's just not big enough. We really need... Honestly, we kind of want that one, 100,000, which we don't even have enough for right now. Are we going to get 40 grand out of those bales? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, so I don't know. We're going to have to kind of think that one through a little bit more, I think. Perhaps we don't do it today. I don't know. I don't know. Let's hook up to the bales here, the trailer of silage bales. We can go sell these guys, and we'll just see how much kind of money we get, and then we can kind of go from there, right? We do have $500,000 loan still to pay off, too. Don't forget about that, Z. Don't forget about that. Okay, so silage. Where's the best to sell silage at today? There's only a couple places. I still wish I had the option to favorite some of these so they could move to the top and you had like a list of 10 or something that you're like, you know, whatever you're working on. That way they're always at the top. You don't have to sit here and scroll for a country mile like when I scroll to put my birth date in whenever I'm buying anything, right? But, you know, whatever. All right, animal deer, 371. That's good. That's the closest thing to us anyway, so that's good. We know where that is. I don't need to have that on. Well, now I'm going to have an issue here, aren't I? Here we go. Nearly a full grain tank again, so by the time we go do this, I'll have a full grain tank. Let's just check on the goats while we're here. I think they're going to have plenty of water still, but let's just check on them. Water. They do need some water. They have 809 liters, which is fine. We're not like any hurry or rush, but they will need water between now and the next episode. They will run out of water, so... Or if they don't, it'll be very, very close. So we need to go get them some water as well. I mean, this is a lot of silage here, so this actually might get us 40 grand. It might. It just might. Alright, we're pulling up here. Doing the best I can here every once in a while to try to jump into first-person view. I just need to utilize first-person view more than I do. I don't utilize it enough. 43,491. It got there. We got there. We're not going to have a whole lot of money after it, but we got there. Wow. Okay. Well, that's good, though. No, that's really good. So, let's head back to the farm here. I will think about everything else we just talked about. We might end up doing that bale wrapping contract. Whoop. Easy, Scarlet. That was my fault. I apologize. We might end up doing that bale wrapping contract. And holding off on picking up the straw and everything from the ground until the next episode. Yeah, I think that might be the way we go with this. We're getting pretty long into this episode anyway, and I try to keep them, you know, under an hour. Really, I should be keeping them around 30 minutes according to YouTube. I've mentioned that before, but lately that has not been the case. They've been around 45, 50 an hour, over an hour sometimes. So yeah, let's do that bale wrapping contract, and yeah, we'll leave the picking up the straw off the ground for the next episode. We do need to unload the harvester here. As you can tell, he is full, the pipe's out, so we need to do that. I'm just going to park this right here for now. Let's jump into this one. It's not going to be able to hold all of it, but we can go ahead and load this. And we definitely are going to be able to put all of the oats into the silo, which is good. That means we didn't have to buy a second silo yet. Or at least upgrade that silo if nothing else, right? So, it's good. Let's get this all set and ready to go here, because that trailer's going to be full pretty quickly. And full. Alright, let's unload this. I'll get this unloaded, I'll get the trailer back, I'll get all that set up, and I will get the bale wrapper out, all that. We'll get all that accomplished. We'll go ahead and take the contract while we're here. Why not? It's not far away from where we are. It's still pretty big. It's probably going to be a lot of bales. Alright, let's go take care of it. Alright, that contract's done. It didn't take too long at all, gang. We still have plenty of bale wrap. I didn't even go to the shop and pick up the rest of the bale wrap yet, so we're going to hold on to this for a little bit longer, so kind of delay those comments I said for earlier for a little while longer. We certainly could still utilize the baler too, and then just move the bales into that silage thing, right? But let's just hold off on that statement. I really don't want to waste all the wrap we paid for, so we'll hold on to it and try to do some more bale wrapping contracts. Those are actually relatively enjoyable. I don't hate doing those at all, so we'll hold off on that a little bit longer. Let's see, this guy's done here. So we can go ahead and unload the rest of this into the trailer, and then we can put this away. I actually just parked the tractor right in the way of the header spot, but That's all right. So we'll put the rest of this into the trailer. Then the trailer we'll put the rest of the oat into the silo. And, yeah, we're going to leave the episode at that point, gang. So the next episode, we'll take care of getting the straw up off the ground. We'll probably start cultivating this field. I don't know if we'll actually drill it or not, but we'll cultivate the field more than likely. We'll figure out what we're going to do about that silage silo. And we'll probably start working on the chopping down the trees as well up there, right? That was another thing we talked about doing today. Just ran out of time. As I've mentioned before, right, we just kind of have a lot of things on the list of things to do. We prioritize certain things, and then if we don't get to the other ones, we'll get to them eventually. So, we'll leave the episode at that point, gang. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting that hitting and smashing, either way, throwing something at it, whatever you want to do. The like button, the subscribe button, all of that if you haven't done any of those yet. It absolutely helps me out more than you could possibly imagine, and I appreciate each and every single one of you who do that for me. Thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, you know the drill. Let me know down below. Till next time, we'll see you in the next... I can't talk. Till next time, we'll see you in the next Triple Threat Challenge.